suddenly the world reads about Petra. The entrance into Petra is this magnificent carved structure about 140 feet high. And it was carved, it was hewn directly out of the rock.
Across the world's most remote mountain ranges, places long considered unreachable are finally being seen clearly for the first time. Not by climbers or explorers, but by drones, machines small enough to slip through narrow ravines, hover beside sheer cliffs, and descend into spaces no human could safely enter. What these drones have revealed is not a single mystery, but a pattern. Ancient tombs sealed into rock faces, hidden chambers inside famous monuments, fortresses far larger than experts believed possible, and in some cases, discoveries so unsettling that entire regions remain off-limits. The mountains have always guarded their secrets well. Now that silence is breaking. High in the rugged terrain of southern Turkey, one such secret sits in plain sight. The Kikaya Tomb, carved directly into a mountainside, dates back to the 2nd century BCE during the Hellenistic period. At first glance, its massive stone door suggests a grand burial chamber beyond. But drones revealed a startling contradiction. Behind the imposing facade lies a cramped crypt, barely large enough for a single body. Access is even more unusual. Visitors must crawl through a narrow opening carved above the doorway, just 1 meter high. An inscription above the entrance reads "Jesus," a word still debated by scholars. Some believe it refers to a forgotten Greek commander. Others argue it may carry religious or symbolic meaning now lost to time. What makes the Kikaya Tomb especially unsettling is its accessibility. There are no guards, no barriers, no restrictions. Anyone can approach it. Anyone can enter. And yet, no one fully understands why it was built the way it was. Turkey, however, is far from unique. In the United States, one of the most recognizable landmarks in the world hides a chamber that almost no one has ever seen. Mount Rushmore is known for its colossal stone faces, but behind the head of Abraham Lincoln lies a sealed room known as the Hall of Records. Sculptor Gutzon Borglum envisioned it as a vault for the nation's most important documents. Although the original plan was never fully realized, construction resumed decades later. In the 1990s, a titanium vault was installed containing porcelain panels engraved with the history of the United States and Borglum's biography. The chamber was designed not for modern visitors, but for distant future civilizations, assuming they ever find it. Reaching it on foot today is nearly impossible. Farther south, in the mountains of Jordan, drones continue to expose the staggering complexity of Petra. Carved directly into sandstone cliffs for more than 2,000 years ago by the Nabateans, Petra was not merely a city of tombs and temples. It was a feat of engineering. Water channels, reservoirs, and pressure systems allowed a large population to survive in an otherwise hostile desert environment. The most iconic structure, the Treasury, rises nearly 40 meters high, carved with astonishing precision. Yet drones have revealed that what stands above ground is only part of the story. Hidden chambers, sealed passageways, and unexplored interiors remain embedded deep within the rock. In Italy's Apennine Mountains, a very different kind of mystery towers over a quiet pond. The Apennine Colossus, a massive stone sculpture nearly 36 feet tall, was created in the late 16th century to represent the mountains themselves. But drones have shown that the giant is not solid. Beneath it lies a network of tunnels and chambers spread across 3 levels. Inside the statue's head, a fireplace once burned so that flames appeared to flicker from Thejan's eyes while smoke poured from its nostrils. The sculpture was not just art, it was a theatrical machine, blending engineering, mythology, and symbolism. In January 2025, drones rewrote history in the Caucasus Mountains. At the site of Demenesis Gora, previously thought to be a small fortified settlement, aerial mapping revealed walls and structures extending more than a kilometer beyond the known fortress. The site turned out to be roughly 40 times larger than previously estimated. Positioned at the crossroads of Europe, the Middle East, and the Eurasian steppe, the fortress likely served as a major hub for trade and cultural exchange during the Late Bronze and Early Iron Ages. What had once been dismissed as minor suddenly became central to understanding regional development. Not all mountain discoveries are ancient architecture. In Canada's remote Nahanni National Park lies the so-called V Valley of the Headless Men. For over a century, the region has carried a reputation rooted in tragedy. In 1911, two brothers entered the area in search of gold. Years later, their headless bodies were found along a riverbank. Local indigenous oral histories speak of the Naha, a fearsome mountain tribe that vanished without explanation. Modern drone footage shows a landscape as isolated and unforgiving as ever, reinforcing the sense that some places resist human presence. In Greece, Mount Penteli hides Daedalus Cave, a site where history, myth, and unexplained reports collide. Once used as a marble quarry for the Parthenon, the mountain shelters a cave containing a double Byzantine church carved directly into the rock. Evidence of ancient worship of the god Pan has also been found, alongside signs of medieval Christian hermits. Visitors have reported electronics failing, strange visual phenomena, and other disturbances. None have been conclusively explained. Elsewhere, mountains preserve history in more literal ways. On Mont Blanc, melting glaciers revealed a metal box filled with emeralds, rubies, and sapphires, remnants of an Air India crash decades earlier. In Slovakia's High Tatras, drones captured footage of a glacial lake so clear it appeared unreal, its ice-bound waters transparent to depths rarely seen on Earth. In Nevada, Goshute Cave stretches into darkness through a twisting limestone labyrinth, surrounded by legends of disappearances and underground worlds hidden beyond its narrow passages. Sometimes the discovery begins at home. In 1963, a man renovating his basement in Cappadocia, Turkey, knocked through a wall and uncovered a tunnel leading to an underground city. Derinkuyu, now known to descend at least 18 levels and 60 meters deep, could shelter up to 20,000 people. Complete with the ventilation shafts, wells, chapels, schools, and storage rooms, it was designed for long-term survival during invasions. Drones and modern mapping have since revealed that Derinkuyu connects to other subterranean complexes, forming an underground network that took centuries to construct. Along the cliffs of Wales, Culver Hole and nearby caves once served as smuggling routes and hideouts for pirates. Some archaeologists believe these caves may predate that era entirely, possibly functioning as ancient fortifications carved directly into the rock. In Spain's Canary Islands, drones uncovered a hidden cave tomb containing 72 mummified remains from the Guanche civilization, sealed high on a cliff and untouched for centuries. In Georgia, a towering limestone pillar rises nearly 130 feet from the valley floor. At its summit seats a monastery reachable only by ladder and winch. For centuries, monks lived in isolation there, suspended between earth and sky. Beneath them lie burial chambers holding the remains of those who chose that life of solitude. China's mountains hide mysteries of a different order. Near Mount Baigong, metal pipes embedded deep within rock formations have sparked debate for decades. Some tests suggest extreme age, far older than known human metallurgy. Others argue they are natural formations. Further investigation has been restricted, leaving the question unresolved. In New Zealand, glowworm caves illuminate underground chambers with eerie blue-green light, known to indigenous communities long before modern exploration. In China again, cliff-side coffins hang nearly 100 meters above the ground, placed there by the ancient Bo-people to protect the dead and elevate them closer to the heavens. And in Ireland, a heat wave revealed what centuries of farming had hidden. Drone footage exposed crop marks forming a massive circular henge near Newgrange, dating back roughly 4,500 years. The structure had remained invisible until drought conditions made it stand out against the scorched earth. Taken together, these discoveries tell a single story. Mountains are not empty. They are archives. They contain human ambition, fear, belief, and ingenuity carved directly into stone. Drones have not solved every mystery, but they have made one thing clear. The world's most inaccessible places were once carefully chosen, deliberately shaped, and intentionally hidden. What remains undiscovered may be even stranger than what has already been found. Mountains are not empty. They are archives. They contain human ambition, fear, belief, and ingenuity carved directly into stone. The world's most inaccessible places were once carefully chosen, deliberately shaped, and intentionally hidden. What remains undiscovered may be even stranger than what has already been found.